What's good, guys? Welcome back to Est.93. I'm Sharif. You can call me C. This is the HQ. This is my channel. Bow. So, what we're talking about today is music. Okay, we're going back to the topic of music. I do want to, just mention that everything that I talked about in the last video, which I will do, I will link below in the description. We were just scratching the surface with that. Okay, so we went over a few things in terms of like promotion, marketing, having a team, and a few other things. Okay, so today what I want to talk about is a few other things. So let's get straight into it. Okay, now when you're releasing music, okay, it should be of a good quality. Okay, this bedroom stuff, it works if you have the right hardware. Okay, but more often than not, you get a really and I mean, it's not only hardware, it's about talent in the engineer as well, because some engineers are like magicians. Okay, they can do wonders. Okay, but that all stuff costs. Okay, in post-production. Okay, now if you are having some good equipment and stuff like that, it goes a long way. There's a saying, you can't polish rubbish, basically. So if you have something rubbish, doesn't matter how much you polish it, it's going to be a shiny bit of rubbish. Okay, something quality going in. Okay, post-production, it can make a difference, but you just want to increase your chances of having something aesthetically pleasing. Okay, so the whole mixing and mastering stage, you can outsource that. Okay, if you can get a decent setup where you're recording and you get nice clean audio vocals, and obviously a decent beat instrumental, you can hire somebody from anywhere in the world. You can send it to them via Dropbox, G Drive, email, whatever. Yeah, you can send it anywhere in the world to have it mixed and mastered. Okay, and like I said, the competition for that is huge. So there is people who will charge 30 racks for a song, single, but there's people that charge $25. The playing field on that is huge. So find somebody who's got the talent for engineering, the knowledge for engineering, and again, choose wisely on that, because if you're reaching out to radios and stuff like that, you got to understand again who you're up against. Okay, do you think that these major names are going to be dropping anything shy of awesome? No. In terms of aesthetically pleasing, mixed, mastered, compression, all of that stuff is going to be so clean, nicely done, and you can hear the quality. I'll tell you the best mixing quality I've ever heard is from Warner. Okay, now there's a few singles where they've dropped in partnership with artists, like, let me give you an example, for movies especially, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Fast and Furious movie. If you listen to I think it's the Fast and Furious 7 or 8 soundtrack that was done by Warner. I think so. The mixing and mastering is second to none. Okay. The same Kodak Black had dropped, I think it was First Day Out with Warner. And again, the mixing and mastering on that is absolutely second to none. It is awesome, and when you hear that and you hear how clean it is on every speaker, whether it be your laptop, your phone, your headphones, your car, it sounds clean everywhere. It sounds good everywhere. Okay, it gets to radio, it sounds good. Okay, so you're up against some major players. So you're up against some major players. So you got to understand, what you're up against. You got to come with some kind of quality. Okay, now let's move on. Booking agencies and performances. Okay, now any performance you do, okay, I believe that that's the best way to build a core fan base, is through performances. Okay, now it's not easy to get performances in the early stage, but open mic nights, those kind of things where you can just go put your name down, perform 1 or 2 songs, or have like 15 minutes or whatever. You have to absolutely kill your performances. Okay, you have to deliver a solid energy. People will not forget that. They will be gobsmacked. Okay, and it will bring people to you. Okay, now I'll give you an example. Myself, I've seen people perform and they absolutely killed it, and it's turned me into a fan. Okay, I'll give you an example. Fredo. Okay, he's a UK rapper. He's doing extremely well right now. When I first heard of him, it was when he first came out. He had obviously put the things in motion correctly. He was performing live the first time I ever heard of him or saw him. Okay, it was at an award show, and basically, he had come on. The music started playing. It dropped. He started spitting. I was like, "Yo, who is this guy?" That was absolutely cold performance. Turned out it was Fredo. His song had just been released online somewhere recently. Again, it's like running the thing simultaneously. I checked him out, liked the song, bang, became a fan. Okay, so killing performances pays off. Okay, so anytime you perform, you gotta give it a solid energy. You gotta try and engage, try and connect, and obviously have a good product at the end of the day. Now, coming back to booking agencies, they will book you and sign. They will sign you first of all, but you need to again have that kind of buzz, at least some kind of buzz, okay? Because they're not interested in frankly, a nobody. So again, go back to the promotion and marketing and stuff like that. Make a campaign plan, and once you've delivered a few singles that are running in motion and stuff like that, once you've hit a certain number, maybe 100,000 views on your single or whatever, reach out to the booking agencies, and just say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and you talk to them about signing and whatnot, and in turn they'll middleman the shows for you. Can be direct as well. People can hit your management direct or your management email direct and book you that way. But in terms of like the higher caliber of industry people, they'll go through the booking agencies. Perform any way you can. Okay, now don't mean just stand in the corner of your bedroom like whatever, but I mean like open mic nights. Don't be scared to perform in front of 50 people. It's the start somewhere and move forward that way. Okay, now features. Okay, features can be beneficial. Okay, features you can either pay for or you can get paid for. Okay, you can get. So, for example, you find somebody that's local in your area that's popping. You reach out to them. Hey, what's good? This, like, I need a feature. Okay, whether you go through the management or you go to them directly via socials, they'll say, yeah, I can do it for this price. Bang, let's do it. Okay, you pay them. They give you the feature. You release the song again. Run it through the motions. Their fans will have eyes on the song because they're their fans. You can work something up with them where they post the song and whatnot, and their fans will have eyes on you. And if you kill it, they might become your fan. Okay, it's just tapping another fan base. Okay, and it's the same the other way around. If you're generating some kind of buzz and someone else is interested in getting a feature from you, one, you'll get paid, and two, it's kind of swapping the fan bases. Tapping into each other's fan bases. Okay. Now, going back to the shows, okay, you can make money from shows and you can get some exposure from shows, okay? Now, if you were to sort of take on the promoter role, okay, now this would require a good amount of money. But what I'm talking about here is putting on your own event. Now, what I mean by that is basically doing what a promoter does, okay? Now, should you have a team, this is something that should be delegated around, because there's a few things to, there's a few plays in this that need to be taken care of. One is finding the venue, okay? Number two is booking a name. And when I say name, what I mean is somebody who will drive ticket sales. Okay, and you will have to pay for that. That's not cheap. Okay, now, for example, somebody in your city that's ringing, they could take 10,000 for that show. Okay, in the UK, someone who's on the come up, especially, you could be looking at anywhere from 2 to 4, maybe a little bit more. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to make somebody that's known a headline, and then as an artist, you want to support that. Okay, you want to be the supporting act, and what that will do for you, is exposure. Okay, so all them people come out to see that guy. It's a similar thing with the features, but this is a different kind of play. This is a bigger play, and it's a money play too, because all them people come and buy the tickets to see that guy. You can make money from that. You can generate some good money actually from that, and then in turn you're getting paid, and you're getting all that exposure from all those people that's down there. Again, kill the performance. Absolutely kill that performance. Okay, booking a venue, hiring a name, doing the marketing. Okay, having those 3 things in play, and obviously have some form of way of collecting the ticket sales. It's a good play. It's not cheap, so don't be trying to do that on a shoestring budget, because if one thing falls down, it will all fall down. But if you do have a budget for that, that could be a serious way of generating some good money. Okay, now when it comes to making music, okay, I had heard somebody's song. When was it? It was like 2 days ago, 1 or 2 days ago. Now, the delivery of the vocals was good. Okay, the mixing, it was raw basically. It sounded raw, so the mixing and mastering were very limited on that. But what I will say is it sounded dated. It sounded something like from the early 2000s. And in this day and age, it's all about relevance. Okay, in terms of music and what's popping. Now, I'm not saying follow the trends, okay, because if you follow a trends, you'll always be changing and chasing it, because trends change. But stay under the umbrella of relevance, okay, because you don't want to be sounding like you're from the early 2000s, because that is dated, it's past. You know what I mean? You want to understand which way the market's moving, what's in, what's not in. Do you know what I mean? Stay true to yourself, obviously, okay? But evolving, adapting to how the industry is moving forward, like the transition from album sales to streams, okay? I don't know anybody that runs around selling CDs out the back of their trunk no more. But, as I mentioned in the last video, how hard would it be to sell 100 CDs in your whole city? If you give yourself a week, how hard would it be for you to sell 100 CDs? Okay, print them, make them, burn them, whatever. Find a way to sell 100 CDs, do it in 20 cities. 1, it's exposure. 2, you can make money doing that. Okay, you gotta hustle it. Okay, and I remember, like the whole album thing has moved over to streams now. I was walking into a store, and there was a very basic poster on the window. Okay, it was an A4 bit of paper, and somebody had put their album cover and a QR code. I had checked it out. It was somebody's album. It took me to the page with all the links. Clicked on Spotify or whatever it was. I played the album. I played the full album. I listened to it, and I gave it a good listen. I don't usually see posters with like that. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, okay, cool. Let me check it out. It won't hurt. Don't cost me money or whatnot. I had checked it out, and it was terrible. The mixing and mastering was like, it was different for every song. There was no like. It sounded like a whole bunch of engineers had worked on it, and there was no correspondence in terms of levels and stuff like that. So one song was like loud, one was like not so loud, one was sounding flat, one was sounding brighter. The structures of the songs were good, the arrangements of the songs were good, the bars were okay, the flow was okay, and the production was off. Okay, so I listened to it once, I won't listen to it again. But if it was good, obviously I would be, listen to it again. And, just from that guy putting up that poster in that store, if it was a good product, I would have become a fan. It would have worked, but it didn't. Okay. Now, let's talk about names. Okay. Rap names. This can be a touchy subject because more often than not, if you are rapping, you have a name. Okay. But let's be real. People don't understand trademarking and stuff like that. Okay. So let's just have a quick talk about that. So, rap has been around for about 40 years. Okay. Now you need to understand that a lot of things have been done. Okay. And people do trademark stuff. So when you're trying to come up with a name, or if you have a name, you need to make sure you've done enough research. Okay. Now this is on the professional side of things, and this is not so much of a on the social side of things. No, it's professional, because if somebody's trademarked a name and you're playing on that name, you're again open to litigation. You're open to getting sued. Okay. So you want to be careful. Do your research. Now, I had come across an issue, right? My label was called Do or Die. Okay. Or the label is called Do or Die, sorry. I had released a song under Do or Die. Okay. There's a group out there called Do or Die, and I didn't do that research. Okay. I've checked. Okay. Like, the company was good, like is incorporated and all of that stuff, but in terms of, like, there was a group called Do or Die from way back, and I had no idea. So I dropped the song, and on Spotify and all of that, it had come under their banner, and I'm like, yo, it's coming under them, not me. So it's like, you search Do or Die, their page is coming up, and that song is coming up on their page. So that's not good. So you need to be careful of that, first of all. And again, the trademark. Now, the way trademarks work is, for example, if you've been rapping for, like, say 2-3 years, okay, and your name is XYZ, okay. Now, if somebody else's name is ABCXYZ, and you basically used that name in commerce and sold something via that name first, then you have the first choice of trademarking that, okay. That guy will have to work something out, or you could sue him, okay. And it works the other way around, okay. I'll give you an example. Nas is trademarked. The name Nas is trademarked. Now, I'm sure you know who Nas is. His name is trademark. I don't know who owns the trademark. Could be him, could be Def Jam or Sony, or whichever one of the labels it is. But we now have Lil Nas X, okay. Nas in the middle. It's trademarked. I don't know if they have some deal or what. I don't know, but playing on names like that it's risky. You're opening to a lawsuit. So be careful of that. Now, I would recommend getting trademarked early, because it's not cheap. It could cost anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000-$4,000 to get trademarked. So something to take in. Make a mental note of, at least. Make sure you're not playing on somebody else's toes, and just keep that in mind for future, okay. And this goes back to using the name and having a company, okay. Now, music is a business, therefore you need a company, because if you get paid $1,000, you don't want to get taxed on it personally. You want to get taxed on it as a business, so therefore you need to incorporate your company. So I went by the name of CH. The company's name was Do or Die. Okay, so the company would get paid, and then in turn, I'm getting paid from the company, and obviously whatever expenses the company incurs, tax write-offs and all of that stuff. But that's like a deeper level topic for actual business, legal business. So we'll get into that another time. But it's mad today. But incorporate your company, because again, from a professional standpoint, it's important. If if you start generating money and stuff like that, you know, you need to have your accounting in order. So at the end of the year, you're not slapped with huge tax bills. Um, okay, so next, let's talk about attitude. Okay, now you generate a little buzz. Don't let it go to your head, because these people, I say these people, I mean, like, you know, in the industry and stuff like that. You know, people take note of how you are. You only get one chance at first impression. Be a nice guy. You know, be somebody pleasant to be around. You know, if you're having a team, you know, whether you pay for them or not, please and thank you goes a long way. You know, sticking to your word. That's a big thing these days. A lot of people overpromise and under deliver, and it's of no use. Okay, it's of no use, because you'll just, you know, you'll just become sour in their mouths. Do you know what I mean? So it's not something that they want. Okay, and you know, the word will get around. Oh, he does this, like he's like that. He's a cocky guy or whatever. They don't want to work with you. No, like, be humble. Do you know what I mean? Like, be grounded. You know, understand that you should be treating a janitor the same way you treat the CEO. Okay. Stick to your words. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. Okay. It's important, because it's your reputation. Personally, you know, every time you see an interview with an artist and they come across as humble, people like that. Do you know what I mean? They don't like, you know, like, I don't want to say any names, but like, they don't like cocky people or people who up themselves. Now, I'll give you an do I want to give you an example? Nah, forget it. I was gonna go into somebody a bit more detail in terms of cockiness, and they were able to back it up. Okay, like, basically they were hella cocky, and they they can back it up all the way, and yeah, now we'll leave that one. Let's talk about industry deals. Okay, now, when it comes to deals and contracts, it's all about leverage. Okay, it's all about leverage. So when it comes to industry deals, contracts, stuff like that, it's all about leverage. Okay, so if you're starting out and you approach a label, okay, now, bearing in mind, to approach a label, you need a lawyer. Okay, it's just, again, the way the game is. So approaching a label with a lawyer or whatever, you're giving them leverage, because they're standing there like, oh, you want to work with us? Okay, we can give you, providing you have the image, providing you have the sound, the quality music, maybe not a fan base, but you're approaching them. They'll be like, okay, you have some kind of package going on, and even if not, they can manufacture that. You know, they can give you an image, they can give you a sound, all of that stuff. Yeah, it's weird, but they can do that. They'll give you a small advance for a big contract, okay, and you'll be in with low points. Points is percentages. So, for example, 50,000 for 3 albums, and maybe 7%, okay, 6%. And if you do not perform numbers wise in your first single, you are at risk of being shelved. And what I mean by that is if the numbers don't do what they need to in the first instances, they'll put you to a side and think, okay, we're not spending any more money on him or her, for that matter. You're at risk of being shelved, and it could cause some major bumps in your career. Okay, now the other side of things is if they approach you. Okay, now the way they're gonna approach you is if you start making money. If you make money from music, they can see it. Okay, they have people. This is what they do. They're obviously the industry people. So what they're doing is they're watching. They can see you have a buzz. You're making a name for yourself. You're making money, and that's obviously good for business. So they'll approach you. They'll offer you better terms, but now you have the leverage. So you could say, okay, I want 150,000 for one mixtape for 1 year. Okay, they could go for that. Now understand that first payment is an advance that needs to be recouped. Okay, so all your album sales and stuff like that needs to be recouped. So when they give you that, that 6-figure deal, whatnot, advance, understand that needs to come back. So if they give you $100,000 advance and your album sells 50,000 and the label is in minus, essentially you will owe the label. Okay, but more often than not they'll put enough money to make it work. Okay, but it does happen. Okay, and that that all kind of stuff comes back to being good with your own money, personal finances and stuff like that. Like, people sign, they buy a watch, they put a down payment on a house and a car, and all that money's gone, and it's like, now they're looking for money somewhere. Don't be that guy. Okay, be smart with your money, get a good accountant. But I'll say this, I don't oppose being independent, I don't oppose being signed. There's benefits to each, but what I will say is what I would do personally would be to have a good independent run, have a good come up, okay, independently, and get to the point where you're worth a lot to these labels, and then you sign a good deal, a good chunky deal. I wouldn't say a 1 year, no, I'd say a 3 year, where they're running like maybe 2 albums and a few singles, and you get a good payment for that, you get good points, you get good royalties and whatnot, and what I project would be you've hit a good space independently. Okay, you sign a good deal for 3 years. Okay, in that 3 years, not only have they taken you to places where you cannot reach independently. Okay, you cannot reach certain places independently because one, it just costs too much money. Okay, I'll give you an example. The Weeknd, the Super Bowl, that performance cost him millions of dollars. Okay, he didn't get paid for it, he paid for it. Okay, so understand that when you see someone performing on a TV or whatnot, more often than not, the artist or label has paid for that space. So be aware of that. You have a good run independently. Okay, you sign a good 3-year deal, something like that. You've got more fans, you've got more money, you've got more contacts. You come out of that deal, now you're independent. Now you're back to being the sole owner of that bag. Okay, unless you have investors, partners and whatnot. But my point is, there's not a huge label taking majority cut. Okay, now it could be a sign-in as an artist, or it could be a partnership as a company. So the company that you've incorporated, the record label, you could sign a partnership with them, and essentially they'll just bankroll it, finance the company, and open the doors for these opportunities. They'll say, okay, you need a big feature with this person. All right, we'll make it happen. So you come out of the deal with a whole bunch of contacts, a whole bunch of more money, and a whole bunch more fans, and now you're independently. So if you spend your time wisely and learning and having your team learn about, okay, this is how all these things work at this level, you come out, you do it yourself because you've got that bag. You got that major bag that you collected while you were with them. You come independent, the bag just doubled, if not more. Okay, now let's go back to socials. Okay, being relevant on social media means releasing interesting content. Okay, most people I see on Instagram, these aspiring rappers, they are dropping videos of their outfit saying some slogan, hey, big boss man here, or something like that. It's just like, be creative. having interesting content, lyric videos, behind the scenes, the creation of what's the process like of you before you perform, you know, mini documentaries, you know, like show them the insight to, you know, the stuff that goes into the process of the creation of the music. Show some studio footage, you know, behind the scenes stuff, you know, all of that stuff goes a long way. And you know, being innovative with it, you know, like show them how that beat was made, or you know, you in the studio, how do you write, do you not write, do you freestyle, you know, all of that stuff. Staying relevant, new content, and stuff that can engage with people, you know, because if you're just taking a selfie or a full body shot with just an outfit with some kind of caption, it's gets old. Okay, they can do that every now and again, of course, but you know, just mix it up a little bit, you know. So I think, you know, we've covered quite a few things today. You know, we'll revisit this little series, music series. We'll revisit it. We've hit a good amount of time today. As always, if you've enjoyed this, like, subscribe, share it. If you know any aspiring rappers or anybody who's aspiring to be a manager or who's part of a music team, share this with them. Again, you know, the other things that we touched on in terms of promotion and marketing and stuff like that, I'll link below. I'll put my socials below. Instagram, Sharif_Est93, TikTok, Est93C. Again, I'll put those down in the description. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Any comments, let me know. And again, any questions, hit me up on Instagram, you know. Again, I'm an open book. I don't mind. I'll help you any way I can. And I'll try and guide you and advise you the best way, you know, possible. And we'll probably hit a part 3 on this. I think there's still a few more things that we need to talk about. You know, and these kind of conversations I like to keep light. They're not so much like action plans, but the more gems I'm trying to just, you know, drop on you so that you can sort of incorporate into what you're doing, okay? But as always, I've been Sharif. This is the Est93. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all of that good stuff. I'll see you next time. Bye.